Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we are doing another book video. It's going to be my 2022 book haul and reading list. Well, like reading list for the next couple months. I got a bunch of books over Christmas, like for Christmas I got a bunch of books. So I thought I would share with you guys all of the new books that I got for Christmas this year, and then update you on what books I'm going to be reading in the months ahead. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let's just go ahead and get started. I also have coffee, and I'm wearing a hat because I have really bad hair right now. So I'm going to start off with the books that I got for Christmas and then do my reading list at the end. So the first book that I got was The Hobbit by JRR Tolkien. I don't really probably have to explain this one since you guys probably know The Hobbit, but it is like the prequel to Lord of the Rings. I've already read this book. I find The Hobbit is just more lighthearted and funny than the actual Lord of the Rings series. I had the box set from 1, 2, and 3, and I was just missing The Hobbit, so my sister Karina gave it to me, and I'm really excited about it because now I have the complete collection of Lord of the Rings. I also got Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. I love this book. It's so good. It's really, really sad, just very kind of somber, and it is quite a sad book. I would recommend it if you haven't. I mean, it's been out for so long. I'm really happy that I own it now because I loved the book when I read it for the first time. I realize I'm not like telling you guys what these books are about, but Flowers for Algernon is about this man who's like way below the IQ of a normal person, and they basically experiment on him and a mouse to increase their intelligence, and it kind of takes you through that journey of like his thought process from being somebody that was happy and didn't know that he was dumber than everyone around him to when he was super intelligent and he realized everything, and kind of, I don't know, it's good. Then I also got Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, which I read in 2021. A lot of these books were like books I've already read, but I just didn't have them yet in my collection. I really liked it. I liked it way more than Little Fires Everywhere. It was just so, I don't know, it just hit so close to home. It's about this like biracial family that's living in Ohio. They're half Asian, half white, and it, I don't know, it just hit close to home for me, being half Asian myself. I think that's why I liked it so much, and it is not the most uplifting book. The characters aren't really that great either. You don't really like, at least I didn't really like any of them, but I think the overall message and just the fact that I felt like I could relate to it so much is what really made me love the book. So adding it to my Celeste Ng collection, which is just this and Little Fires Everywhere. Oh yes, this book. I got The Awakening by Kate Chopin. This is one of my favorite books. I really, really liked it. I read it for one of my book clubs like years ago, and I just remember it was one of those books that changed my life. I say that about quite a lot of books, but this one definitely changed how I thought about life. Like, I felt like a different person once I finished it. It's about this woman, I think her name is Edna. It takes you through her journey, like it's almost like a mental health journey. I think it was quite ahead of its time. It was very different to view a woman in this way, at least the way that Kate Chopin kind of depicts Edna. Honestly, it changed me, so I've been wanting to add this to my collection for a long time, and now I finally have it, and I love it. So The Awakening, definitely recommend it. I'm trying to increase my Shakespeare collection. I have already quite a few Shakespeares, and there's just a couple more that I want. But this one is Taming of the Shrew. If you've seen the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, that's what it's based off of. It's based off Taming of the Shrew, and I've seen it live, and I read it in high school as well. It's kind of a weird one because I feel like it's not great for the feminist movement, and it's kind of, I don't know, I have to reread it, but I remember in high school thinking like this sucks for women. I have to reread it to remember how I really felt. I'm trying to read a Shakespeare every quarter this year. And then another one of my favorite books is Yann Martel's Life of Pi. I love this book. I also love the movie. I think it's Ang Lee, the director, and that movie is so beautiful, and it's a little bit like slow, but I really, really love that movie. But I also love this book. This is such a good book. If you haven't read it yet, I would totally recommend it. It's about this boy who is shipwrecked. Well, his ship sinks, basically, and everyone in the ship sinks except for him and this tiger, and it's their journey across the Pacific Ocean. They're just stuck on this little boat, and it's very interesting. I don't want to spoil too much of it. A lot of like symbolism, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but I also just love the fact that the tiger's name is Richard Parker. I remember that when I was a kid. I remember thinking that was so funny. I also got Margaret Atwood's The Testament. I talked about this a few book videos ago because I read this one in 2021, and I've also read The Handmaid's Tale, and I own The Handmaid's Tale, so I was just kind of wanting to have the complete collection. I didn't like this one as much as The Handmaid's Tale. I definitely think that one is better, but if you kind of want to figure out what happens after The Handmaid's Tale, then I would recommend reading this one. It's a good like read. I read it really fast because it was very exciting, but yeah, it's definitely not the same level to me as The Handmaid's Tale. I also feel like she didn't need to write a sequel because I liked how The Handmaid's Tale ended, kind of ambiguous. I still read it because I wanted to know, obviously, but yeah, I kind of wish she almost hadn't written a sequel. Then the last book that I got this Christmas was Douglas Adams's The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's just the first one. I think there's 5 books in the series, so I'm gonna have to slowly collect all 5, I think. I've actually read this one already this month, and I really liked it. It was different, I think, than I thought, and also when I read this one, I felt like I had seen it or read it before, and I think it's because I've watched a bit of the movie. Like, I vaguely remember this movie coming out. It's like Martin Freeman and Zooey Deschanel, and I remember it for some reason, and I remember thinking when I was watching it that it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen because I didn't understand it at all. And now I've read the book, so now I want to go watch the movie again. But it is a science fiction novel. It's basically about this guy whose name is, I can't remember. Oh, Arthur. Yeah, his name is Arthur. And he gets saved from Earth. Earth gets like demolished, and then Arthur escapes with an alien. Well, he hitchhikes onto a ship with an alien, so he survives the demolition of the Earth, and then it's his journey through space with the aliens. They go to different planets, and it's interesting. Like, I had a bit of trouble reading it because I'm not used to sci-fi as much. I haven't read that much sci-fi in my life. I wasn't super used to the style of writing, but I really liked it, and I want to read the next one. So then to move on to the books that I want to read either over the next quarter, but a couple of the books are quite big, so it might stretch over to basically the first half of the year. So the book that I'm actually reading right now, and I'm almost done it, is The Idiot by Elif Batuman? I don't know how to say the last name. And I really like this book. It reminds me a lot of The Marriage Plot that I read in 2021. It's so weird because I also read that book in January, and now I'm reading this book in January again, a year later, and it reminds me a lot of The Marriage Plot. It's really interesting. It's set in the 90s, and the internet is just becoming a thing, and you follow the life of a girl in university. She's actually going to Harvard, and she meets this guy, and I feel like it's a coming of age novel, but I'm not quite sure yet because I'm not at the end. But it's definitely like her journey, kind of discovering herself. So I guess it is coming of age. It's like trying to find her identity. I don't know the ending yet, so I can't say if I'm like happy at the end or not. But at the moment, I'm about 3/4 done the book, and at the moment I do like it. Then, because I read the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship, last month. Now I am on to The Two Towers. This is my favorite movie from the trilogy. This is my favorite movie. I just love The Two Towers so much, and I'm really excited to read it. The problem is with Lord of the Rings is because I know the story so well, it's not the most exciting to me to read the books. So I kind of have to like balance this one out and spread it a bit. Like, I don't want to just be reading Lord of the Rings for the next 3 months. I'll probably stretch this one over a couple months so that I can read other books at the same time. But I do like The Two Towers, so I'm excited to read this one. My Shakespeare for the quarter is Othello. I really like this tragedy. It was my favorite one that I read in high school. It's really sad, and there's like such an annoying character named Iago in it, but I do really like this Shakespeare. This is my second attempt reading this one. It's Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Fyodor Dostoevsky, I hope that's how you say his name. I tried to read this one a few years ago. I got about, I think, a quarter of the way in, and then I was just so bored I gave up. So I'm gonna retry it again. I don't know if, even if it takes me the entire year, I wanna just finish it. I normally love Russian novels, like I really do, but this one I just could not get into. And then I also want to read Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. This was my mom really liked this book, and I think my brother-in-law really liked it as well. I don't know too much about it. It's based in World War II, and I think it follows the lives of sisters, like 2 sisters or so. I've heard good things about it, so I am excited to read it. It is a big book, but I think it won't take me too long. I think it's like one of those like long novels, but easy reads. And lastly, a book that's been on my book list for so long, and I do want to read it. It's very daunting, and I haven't felt fully committed to it yet, but this is The Once and Future King by T.H. White. I read this one in grade 10, I believe. It's long, it's very daunting, but I do remember liking it, and I felt like it was a book that I needed to reread to kind of experience it again now that I am much older. So yeah, that is T.H. White. It is like Camelot and King Arthur and all of those, you know, legends, Arthurian legends, like Knights of the Round Table type stuff. But anyway, that is everything. Those are all the books that I want to read this quarter, and those are all the books that I have received over Christmas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you as always for watching. Let me know if you want more book videos and what types of book videos you'd like in the future. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you in my next one.